Bacalar, Mexico, the Lagoon of Seven Colors. A pueblo mágico located about 2 hours south of Tulum, not too far from the border with Belize. This little slice of paradise is often skipped for busier Caribbean beach towns like Playa del Carmen, Tulum, and Akumal. But for those that want solitude, history, natural beauty, affordable wellness experiences, and plenty of outdoor activities, you'll find it all in Bacalar.
Welcome to Bacalar. I'm back after, 8 years is the last time I was here. It doesn't seem like a whole lot has changed. It's still a very sleepy, beautiful town, but I just got here and I'm starving. So, I'm gonna go find some kind of late lunch. Let's go.
I grabbed a thick and delicious smoothie from a nearby place called Arugula that tampered my hunger enough to last me until dinner. For this trip to Bacalar, I'm staying at the centrally located Diosa del Agua. It has a nice breakfast, a pool, and some resident kittens to welcome you back each night. I was glad that I didn't have too much to eat earlier because for dinner, we headed to Finisterre, an incredible meal of beef carpaccio, grilled octopus, pizza, truffle chicken, and one of the best risottos I have ever eaten. After a little slice of cake, it was time to go to bed because the next day was a very early start.
Good morning. Although, some might argue if you could even call this morning yet. It's 5:30 a.m. and I have my bathing suit on. I'm going for a sunrise stand-up paddleboard experience here in Bacalar this morning. It is a very popular thing to do here because it's one of the few times of day that you can really see the colors of the lagoon. I hope we see some colors. I heard there's some coffee downstairs, so that's where we're going.
¿De dónde viene? Es de Canadá, de Toronto.
It's amazing how a few sips of coffee can change your entire perspective on life. It's so quiet. The sunrise is in about an hour, just under an hour. So we're headed to get our sups and get out on the lagoon, I guess.
We paddled away from the dock and over to Cenote Negro, where we sat in a circle to watch the sunrise. Our guide had a thermos full of coffee, and we drank it out of hollowed-out coconut shells, while listening to the birds in the trees that surrounded us. It may have been a painfully early morning, but it was absolutely worth it for that peaceful time in the cenote.
It's hard to believe that I've only just had breakfast. But I've been awake for 5 hours already. But that sup was so much fun. It was so beautiful, so relaxing. Highly recommended. I'll put all the information for the different tour guides and stuff that I use on this trip in the description below so that you can recreate some of this beautiful trip. Now we're gonna head out into town and do some exploring. So I've got my handy dandy hat, which you may remember from my packing video.
The main site to explore in the center of town is the fort of San Felipe of Bacalar. It was built in 1733 to defend the town from pirates, but they were a little bit late. Pirates had already been living in these waters for centuries, including someone whose name that might sound familiar.
Have you ever heard about Francis Drake? Yes. Sir Francis Drake, darling, as they say in England. But actually he was a pirate, okay? So August 1588, he defeated the Spanish Armada in the southwest of England, in Cornwall. So he changed the whole economy of the world. You know why? Before, only the Spanish were allowed to come here and the Portuguese to South America. So what happened when any other country wanted to say, oh, I want to go there too? The Pope have a little power, and he said, we have the divine authority to allow the Spanish to go there and the Portuguese to go to South America because they are Catholics and you are Protestant, so you cannot do that. But this guy in August 1588, when he defeated the Spanish Armada and protect England, he asked for a favor to the Queen, according to the historians. And he said, I want to go to the New World. And the Queen said, no, you cannot do that, darling, because the Pope said no. But according to some historians, and the history said that he came anyway, and the Queen, they think that it helped him. And he absolutely was amazed about the quantity of gold that the Spanish were moving from the Aztec, from Villa Rica de la Cruz, which is Veracruz, all the way to La Española, Santo Domingo. They gathered all the equipment there and they did the crossing to the Atlantic all the way to Spain.
After exploring the fort, I did a little bit of souvenir shopping and then headed down to the marina to get back out on this magical lagoon. We sailed past Pirates Canal, past the network of mangroves, and eventually to a small dock that felt like it had sprung out of the middle of nowhere. We relaxed here on hammocks, listened to music, went swimming, and eventually ate some delicious tacos on homemade tortillas. Then it was time to head back on the boat for sunset. We reached Pirates Canal just as the sky turned bright orange. I jumped into the shallow water and looked out at the horizon and felt so much gratitude for being able to spend so much time not only in this wonderful town, but a country that continues to amaze me with every return trip. The next day, I got to sleep past sunrise and then head for a relaxing day at Acalqui, one of the most beautiful hotel and holistic wellness centers in all of Quintana Roo. We started our time here around this fire, which has been burning non-stop for more than 7 years. From here, we walked to what they call the temple, a stunning work of art in its own right, but also where we would be having a cacao ceremony, the first I've ever experienced. The ceremony was such a wonderful way for all of us in the group to connect, and afterward we laid down and relaxed to the gentle sound bath. I did one of these in Sedona earlier this year, and I am hooked. It's better than a massage. After the relaxation, we headed out to explore the overwater bungalows here, which I will definitely be booking for a return trip with Luke for a New Year's trip to the region. Then this happened. I figured after a year of living in Seattle and swimming in the Puget Sound, I was ready for an ice bath. It was freezing. I stayed submerged for 3 entire, very long minutes. And then ate some chocolate to warm up. After freezing my tuchus off, my final activity in Bacalar was to float down the warm waters of Bacalar's Rapids. Located on the edge of town, you can simply drive here if you have a rental car while in Bacalar. However, going with a guide means that you not only get picked up and dropped off, but also that you can learn about the amazing organisms that call this waterway home. The Bacalar Rapids aren't rapids exactly. They're more like a narrow canal with a strong current that allows you to float down it like a lazy river. On the edges of these canals are living stromatolites, formed over millions of years These sedimentary formations thrive in this calcium-rich water. You need to kayak a little bit to reach them, but it is well worth it for the fun of floating and the opportunity to see below the surface. This trip to Bacalar went way too quickly. So quickly, in fact, that when I came home and showed Luke all of the pictures and videos, managed to convince him to come back with me towards the end of this year. So I'm excited that we'll be ringing in the new year in this region of Mexico. So be sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on any of those upcoming videos. But truly, it is such a magical place. We have been now 3 times and I fall in love with it a little bit more every time. The lagoon is just so peaceful. It's so beautiful. And as someone who is usually an ocean gal, love salt in my hair and sand in my feet, I find this freshwater lagoon to be so different than other freshwater lakes that I've been to. The whole town just has this vibe about it that as soon as you're there, you feel more relaxed, more at peace. It helps all of these different wellness treatments that are available there at a much more affordable price than you'll find up the road in Tulum, that's for sure. But also tons of really cool outdoor activities. The supping was so awesome. All the different kayaking that you can do there. And just getting out on the water, on the docks, and swimming a ton is all on the agenda for when I get back. So I hope you enjoyed exploring this little slice of paradise with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It really supports my channel. And I will see you next time as we do a little bit of exploring around the US before we head back south of the border. Bye.